What's up, guys? Welcome back to Fish Over Chicks Woodworking. My name is Peter, and today we're doing a shop tour. So let's just hop into it. So my shop is my garage. I used about a third, maybe a little bit more of it for the shop. My garage isn't that big, so I really had to make the best use of the space I could, and this is how I did it. So I've got this corner here. We've got some old cabinets here from our kitchen when we redid it, so these really came in handy here. It's kind of like a makeshift storage area. This is my workbench. This is where I do pretty much everything. I put it on wheels over here that have locks. I only lock one most of the time. So you just unlock it, and the whole entire bench will move, which clearly there's some stuff under it. I can hear that. Having a moving bench is super helpful in case I'm making a bigger project that doesn't fit on the workbench. I can just move it aside and I can use this ground space. Like I made a bed frame once, that's what I did for that. Or if I ever need any more space here, or if I don't need more space here, I just move that. Adding the wheels was definitely a great decision for this workbench. As you can see, I have built the table saw into it, so from the table saw onto the workbench is a perfectly flat surface. That's really helpful when I'm cutting big pieces of plywood and stuff like that. So underneath here, you can probably see, looks a bit junky. That is mostly scraps and projects, smaller projects that I went over in my 40 woodworking projects and sell. That's all under there in crates that I've made. There's some other stuff. I've got my woodworking apron and stuff in there. The junk's got to go somewhere, right? So that's where it is. So now let's move on to the miter station. This is my newest addition. I made this about a month ago. Really happy with the way it turned out. I'm actually going to move this bench so I can show you the miter station better. Alright, so taking a look at the miter station here, we've got this drawer up here, which I use for my things that I use every day. So I've got screws, bits, drill bits, sandpaper, masking tape, really anything that I'm going to use on a daily basis goes in there. And then down here, you can see that's where I store my planer. So as you can see, I put in rails to have more drawers down there, but after I put the drawers in there, I got the planer, and I realized I needed a space for the planer, so I thought, well, if I take out those drawers, maybe the planer on a dolly would fit, and it fits absolutely perfectly in there. So I took those drawers out because the planer is a better use of space for this area there. Moving on to here, we've got the vacuum right underneath the miter saw. So that's been a really good use of space there for the vacuum. So this shelf here is for things like stain, paint, glue, and oil. So I've got like my Howard mineral oil here, I've got my Type Bond, I've got my Minwax, stuff like that. And then down here on the ground, I said ground and then the phone ended up on the ground. Alright, so over here, as I said before, these are some old cabinets, and I actually don't store any woodworking stuff in this lower part. That's all just random stuff from the garage that I had to condense to put down there. But this tabletop is usually a mess, but I try to organize it. So right now, on this side, I've got some pieces of hardwood that I'm going to be making into cutting boards very soon. And then we've got this brown thing on the wall that's been here for years. My dad put it up a while ago. It's got holes in it and hooks. So, you know, I've got the ear protection, I've got the masks, I've got saws, hammers, and then just any other handheld tools I've got. And then like over on the wall by the miter saw, I've got these magnetic things here, and those are for tools that I use more often. I can just grab the saw there, put it down, you know, come take off the speed square, and then just magnetize it right back up.
What's up, guys? I'm going to jut in really quick and just let you know that if you would like a magnet strip like what Pete has and like what I have in my shop, the link will be down in the description.
And then on this one here, I've got bits that I use a lot, so like my pocket hole bits and some routing bits, and then of course some drills. These are just things that I grab a lot. That's why they're right there, so I can grab them and go. Then we've got a sink here. Nothing special about that. Got my speaker here because I always want to listen to music when in the shop. We've got the charger for the Ryobi tools. This little pencil holder is actually one of the first things I made when woodworking, out of pallets. So it is, well, bad, but I like to keep it in the shop just as a reminder about where I started and where I am now. And then over here, we've got some projects that need to be sanded or need a little bit more work on. So I keep those over there right in front of the chisel sharpener, which I do not use as much as I should. And then over here, this cabinet is the same as these cabinets down here. I don't use it for woodworking stuff. That's more junk. That was in the garage that I needed to put somewhere while I was making this into my shop. But on here, it has come in very handy to have these little shelves. So I put my little tiny clamps up here on this shelf, right next to my pocket hole jig. And then I've got all my batteries up here. And then I've got my 3 Ryobi tools that I use the most right there, which is the router, the impact driver, and the regular drill. So those have been really helpful to have right there. And I just put those there a few weeks ago, and that has been really nice. And now we're gonna end the video off where I film, start, finish all my videos right here. So you can kind of see where everything is now. As you can see, I've got over here that wall that you can't quite see, and I've got the counter space and then the cabinets under there. Obviously, the main workbench, which underneath is all that junk, those scraps and those projects. And then, of course, the miter station. So now you know what's underneath the miter station, what's in the drawer, what drawers could be there and should be there, but are not there. Instead, the planner's there. But yeah, I try to keep the shop in this one small area. Obviously, it is hard to do when I'm working and I got projects everywhere. Usually I have a corner of the garage dedicated to tables and projects that I'm waiting for people to pick up or I'm waiting to sell. So that doesn't really interfere with the shop area itself. It's just over there. So yeah, it's a small shop and I try to make the best of the space I have, and I think I'm doing a pretty good job. If you've got any tips on how to use the space better, any additions, something like that, I'd love to hear them. As always, comment down below. I'd love to hear what you guys are thinking. But yeah, so this is the shop. This is my 2022 shop tour. Maybe in 2023, I will have taken up the entire garage. But for now, this is the shop. So that's going to do it for the video. Thank you so much for watching. If you liked the video, please like, comment, subscribe. As always, comment down below any other videos you'd like us to make, and me and John would be more than happy to make it. I'm sorry John couldn't be here for this video. I was hoping that he'd be here for the shop tour just so he could kind of show you around as well, but he's back home right now because it's the holidays. So yeah, that's going to do it. Thank you so much for watching, and I will see you in the next one.